Hi. Commodities and currency form the basis of any economy and are central to economies such as India, which are large producers, consumers, importers, and or exporters of several commodities. The currency also would, of course, largely depend on the balance of trade, which is dependent on commodities. So the budget, whatever view it is able to take, is going to have a long-term effect on the economy of the country. Now, among this, exchanges have turned out to be a very important tool for commodities as well as currency. And their volumes in commodity markets have shrunk over the last about 3.5 years. And there is this demand, and which we believe will be addressed this time in the budget, where the CTT will be the commodities transaction tax on exchange traded commodities will be removed, and that will be a big welcome step which will help the volumes go back up and make the exchanges suitable for better price discovery and better hedging by users. The other thing, of course, is to add new products to the commodities markets. So options are already on the way as we hear, and in line with that we would expect items like indices trading as well as PMS to be allowed on the exchanges. Third is the introduction of new participants. So for example, NRIs, FPIs in general are not allowed to trade on our commodity markets, and to make sure that all stakeholders are present, allowing all these new participants is also important. In terms of individual commodities, we expect gold import duty to be reduced from the current 10% to about 4%, maybe even 2%. And significantly for base metals, we expect that to enable delivery-based trades on the exchanges, which is currently not happening at all, some of the excise rules are going to be changed to enable that. The most important part of the commodity markets, of course, is the agri segment, which is there, the agricultural segment. So there we expect that ENAM, the National Agricultural Market, which has been set up to connect traders with the farmers, that needs to be enabled. So while it was announced, but we haven't seen much action there, we expect a specific budget allocation there and an agency which is going to enable this within a declared timeline. Second is warehousing, extremely important. There is a serious lack of warehouses in the country, and there has been an effort in increasing the number of warehouses which are there and grading them suitably. Regulatory authority is already there in place. But we need to now move to the next level, and warehouse receipts need to be introduced on a mass scale so that there is no distress sale by farmers. And these warehouse receipts should be negotiable, they should in fact be traded, and they should be widespread, available everywhere across the country. The third is GST, which will go a long way in reducing the multiple layers of taxation and enabling more price equality across the country and better availability of products. But GST, of course, is going to take a few more months from where we are today. The important part for farmers here is going to be a good budget allocation for education to increase productivity, because a lot of the production can be increased if the productivity is taken care of. And I think there has been, this time there will be a lot more focus on that and budget allocations to enable that. The last part of this is currency. Now, the currency, as we said, a very important part for the economy. If the aim is to make the rupee convertible, which is the way direction we are moving in on the capital account, then the interest rate futures as well as the currency derivative markets will have to be made much more healthy than they are now. And they are necessary milestones. We need to deepen them using new products which are allowed in this, as well as new participants, which will enable all stakeholders to come and do price discovery on this platform. The value of the rupee is also being discovered in exchanges outside India. So fundamentally we will need to maybe alter capital controls in such a way that all participants who trade abroad in discovering the rupee value on those exchanges are able to come to India and do the same thing here. So fundamentally between commodities and currency, I think the future of India is going to be largely dependent on these two items as well, and the budget is going to address them comprehensively in this is what we feel.